Welcome back to the bonus content, queens.
Welcome, welcome.
And today we are going to be talking about how to have a high value hot girl or hot woman summer.
I love that.
Because I don't know about you, but the weather's been really, really good, unusually in England.
It's amazing. It's ecstatic.
Yes.
Thank you, climate change.
I know, right? But I also think, summer is a season for socializing. It's when we start going out. It's when, things just, I don't know about you, but it just becomes easier to want to do stuff. And I think that there are ways you can make the most of that, whether you are single and ready to mingle, or if you're just happy being single. There are ways that you can maximize your summer in a high value way.
I love that concept. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody here in Amsterdam, like when the sun is shining, everybody is like on drugs. Everybody's more friendly. They're smiling with their teeth. They're talking to each other. And yeah, this is also why I lost my voice, because I was having a lot of fun.
Having too much fun.
This summer. Not too much, just enough.
Having too much fun. So the first tip that I have in my deck is prioritize your pleasure first. Summer isn't just about being seen. It's not about just going out and socializing, although that is a big part of it. It's also about doing things that you enjoy. So, you enjoying yourself this summer can look like, taking yourself out on that solo trip, to go on self dates, and to do things that really make, you happy first and foremost, because that's the most important thing.
I love that. I love that that's the first point, because it's so hard to get sucked into like a very brutal summer FOMO.
Yeah.
And now there's like always 3-4 things happening at the same time. And for me, I know that it's extremely important that my house is tidy and that my nutrition is like on check, at least when I want it to be. And I would prioritize happily, not meeting my friends at the park, but like, meal planning, like cooking healthy food for the week will make me happier than going to the park. Like it really depends on me. And for instance, this Saturday, so I went to a party on this weekend, and it was the first time. Some listeners may remember that I broke my leg recently. So it was the first time I was dancing with my hoop, and it felt amazing. And I was like, I really need to connect to that part of me. I was looking up the flow community here in Amsterdam, and I'm so lucky they have like their first gathering next weekend. And on that day, I was also invited to a party. I mean, I can't call it priorities, but it's like luxury priorities, right? Like if you want to connect to your art, don't feel sad about, oh, my friends are going to a cool party without me. There is no FOMO, because you are the party. Where you are is where things are happening.
Exactly. And off the back of that as well, I would definitely encourage, if you can, to do solo activities. I think there is a real danger of potentially wasting opportunities to enjoy yourself if you wait for somebody to go with. I'm a huge, huge fan of solo travel, because I think there's just so many benefits of solo travel. That could be an episode in and of itself. But I think one of the key things about enjoying your life as a high value woman is that you don't necessarily wait around for other people to enjoy life with you. You are happy to enjoy life with others, but at the same time, you're also able to put yourself in situations, sometimes by yourself, where you can actually still enjoy yourself and also meet new people and just put yourself out there. So I would also give a tip is to not let yourself be hemmed in by other people's schedules. And if you see that show, that restaurant, that party you want to go to and you've got no one to go with, just go by yourself. The worst come to the worst is that you will meet, at least, you'll speak to somebody else that you wouldn't have spoken to.
Absolutely. I love that that's the second point, and it connects so well to the first one, because indeed, if there's something that sparks your interest, like exactly like that flow thing, I did send it to some people, but I know that I will go on my own. And if some people join me, that might be an advantage. But exactly like you're saying, it's not necessarily an advantage, because of course, when we're with a friend, we're socially reliant on him and we tend to stick to them. But if we're going along, especially if you're single now and wanting to meet people, whether for dating or for friendships, you are a lot more agile socially if you're on your own. So definitely prioritize. And I always do that with music shows, because my taste is very specific, and I'm not going to not go see an artist just because none of my friends know him. That's ridiculous.
Exactly. So I would say that's tip number 2 is don't be afraid to take yourself out. and yeah, to do things that you enjoy on your own.
I love that.
You might be surprised by how much you enjoy doing. And really, solo trips are never really solo trips. They're really an opportunity to meet more people and to expand your circle.
Absolutely. And when you have that time, and also for solo trips specifically, that was like how I grew as a person. And it's just so impactful to have that time with yourself to make your own decisions. Because when you're traveling alone, you have two journeys. You have the one within you and you have the one without you. And it's so beautiful. Absolutely do it.
Agreed. And like, I would honestly say that few things build your confidence in the same way that taking a solo trip or enjoying your own company does, because then you really get to know, especially if other people or a man is adding to your life. If you are comfortable being, by yourself and doing activities by yourself, it becomes a lot easier to assess if a man or a person or a friend or whoever it is positively adding to your life, which leads on to number 3, is that you want to curate your circle in summertime. You want to surround yourself with women who reflect your values. And because people are going out more often and socializing, you can really curate your girl gang, so to speak. And you can really be selective in the types of people and women that you spend time with as well.
Yeah. I love hearing that because for me, it's sometimes I feel bad, when I'm in my butterfly vibe and I'm connecting with people and then afterwards they want to hang out, but actually I know that they're not accurate for me. I find it a little bit challenging, but I should be better at that. Like I find it challenging to like, how do I say, how do I just not ghost? Do you have tips for that?
In terms of not ghosting your friends, I think you can just say no.
Not your friends. Let's say you're going to an event, you meet a few people, you connect, I mean, like on social media, exchange details. And then afterwards you're thinking, that person actually doesn't look like their values are all there, or they're acting in a way that is hectic. I actually don't want to be close with that person. But then they message you like, hey, do you want to hang out? Do you want to have dinner? Do you want to la la la? And you're like, what do I do?
You can just say no. Just say I'm busy, got other plans, like no. And also, no is a complete sentence. And I honestly feel like saying no, especially in these contexts, it's like a muscle. The more you do it, the easier it gets. But just say, sorry, I'm not available at this time. And then eventually they will get the message and they'll probably stop asking you if you don't want to go down.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're saying say no, but you're saying say that you're busy. You're not saying say no, I don't want to hang out with you.
I mean, yeah, or you can just say you've got other plans. Like, spending time by yourself is a plan. So it's not lying.
Absolutely. I need to work on that. It's okay to just say, I'm busy. I can't.
Yeah, just say I'm not available then. So, yeah. And also, as well, a caveat to what I said, even though it's all well and good meeting people out in the wild, but yeah, that can happen where you think you vibe with people more than you do because you often meet at an event where your interests are shared, but outside of that event, you don't have much in common. And that's really common. So you can keep them as that sort of interest friend. So let's say you meet at a concert. If you go to the concert again, you might, want to tag along with each other. But outside of that, you don't have to have a deep rooted friendship if you're not feeling it.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess it's like, if I imagine it more deeply, it's maybe like a tiered kind of thing. Because, well, I have this concept. I don't know if you relate. There are party friends and there are your actual friends. There are people that you only go out with. And like I specifically, I don't have that concept. I don't have people that I only party with. Like the people that I party with are my dear friends. They're also the people that, I help when they have issues or they help me when I need help. It's the same people. And I guess like if you're meeting new people, there is sort of like a tiered process for bringing people into your inner circle. And with time, you'll understand that some people don't belong there. And it's okay to have like more superficial connections at first. This is what I'm like organizing in my brain for that.
Yeah. And I think it's perfectly normal and healthy to have, like you say, tiers of friendship. So I have acquaintances and then friends. I'd say my friendship circle, people who I've got their back and I know they've got my back, is quite small because I invest a lot into my close friendships and I just don't have the energy to do that for a wide group of people. And I think if it comes down to it, I don't know. I basically put a lot of stock in the word friend. It's not a title I would use for somebody unless the relationship was quite serious. But that's okay with me. That's just the way I organize my social life. But everyone else is an acquaintance. An acquaintance isn't necessarily a bad thing. They're just not as close, and that's fine.
Absolutely. I think it's very realistic. I also put a lot of stock, as you say, into loyalty and friendship. That's like a super important value for me. And it's a very serious thing for me. And, I would do a lot for my friends and they would do a lot for me, but it's not a title that I would throw out casually. Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So take this opportunity to curate the people that you want to. Maybe if we say it in like very simplistic words, like use the summer to curate the people that you want to continue on to winter with. Like be intentional with your time and efforts.
Yeah, that I was gonna say, use summer to choose who you want to hibernate within winter. And speaking of hibernation, if a lot of women are out in summer, that also means that there are a lot of men who are out in summer as well.
Wow.
And so, you have the hobo section in winter. Well, I mean, to be fair, low value men are low value men all year round, but there are specific seasons where they come out more often, like summer, because everyone is out in summer. So it's easy to pick up a woman in summer. And winter, like homosexual, like hibernating, it's cold, whatever.
You're cracking me up.
So summer and winter are problem seasons for low value men. And I often get like catcalled more in summer or just like pursued more in summer. And I do think it can be a prime time like for low effort men. So as always, it's a reminder, attention from men is not affection. Dick is abundant and low value, and there'll be a lot of dick around in summer. And yeah, just continue to maintain those boundaries.
Wise words.
Yeah.
I'm clapping. Very wise. I love that.
So yeah, watch out for the dusties over summer, because we're not just talking about the dust in the wind, we're actually talking
They
about...
may appear hotter.
I do think they come out. And it's true, they might appear hotter, like you say.
Beware. It's funny. Oh, but it is true because you don't want to get like carried away with like excitement with ephemeral things, because your boundaries and needs should be maintained high throughout summer as well. That's actually a very good reminder.
Exactly. And yeah, so on to the next one then. I've lost count of how many we've done, but we'll just keep going with it. It's fine. But on to the next one as well. I would always prioritize self-care during summer as well. Again, I don't know about you, but in my gym over summer, probably because of school holidays as well, but people go away and stuff like that. And it can be a ghost town over summer. And I think it's really important to maintain the discipline. And this is something I am holding myself accountable to this year. Because some people, they will go to the gym all year round apart from summer, so they can have the summer body in quotation marks. And then it just falls off over summer. But just keep that routine, I think. Keep that discipline. Keep that motivation up to, to work out regularly, to eat those healthy foods all throughout summer as well. I think that stands people in good stead to enjoy summer as well, because when you are fit and healthy, then I think that summer can be a really, 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 really fun season.
Absolutely. It's about maintaining like all of this is like really giving me queen energy, like mentality, frequency. And it's the same for keeping my nutrition and being healthy, but in a way that is intentional, because like if I'm going on a vacation or like this weekend, I had a visitor and we were going to like fancy restaurants. So I would go a little bit farther, but I still love my body and I want to be healthy. So I think it is very important to keep a healthy nutrition and not to put junk into your body all the time. I mean, you still can, but be intentional about it. And of course, maintaining that strong core physically, maintaining strength, feeling good about yourself is super important, because your body is your body all the time. It doesn't matter if it's summer or winter.
Agreed. I guess it's also about making it almost into a ritual, not a chore. So moving your body daily, but not out of, punishment or hating your body, but just out of reverence for what it can do. And, because ultimately choosing or being able to move your body is a privilege at the end of the day. And it's an honor to be able to do that. So,
oh, lovely. So well said.
It's just about making it a ritual all year round.
I love that.
So, on to the next one. We've spoken about going offline in a previous episode, so definitely watch that back if you must. But again, I would just emphasize, being intentional with what you post as well, being intentional about being online, especially when the weather is good. Like, I think there is a lot more value in just going outside, touching grass, getting some vitamin D, some sun, interacting with people, than spending it doom scrolling on social media. So, do you think about the sorts of, I guess, digital content you're consuming over summer? And as always, I would always recommend try and get out in the real world and touch some grass.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Like everybody lives in a different city, of course. And I hope that everybody has some favorite spot that they like and gives them peace, even if it's just a boulevard not far from their street. And it really does connect for me with what we were saying earlier about being on your own is okay. And if it's a beautiful day outside and the sun is shining, but quote unquote, none of your friends are up to doing anything, it doesn't matter. You can always go on a walk by yourself and enjoy the beautiful weather.
Exactly. So yeah, go outside this summer, enjoy the good weather. Also, wear your sunscreen. Wear your sunscreen. Like, skin cancer is not a joke.
Oh, yeah, super important.
Yeah, it is not a joke. Like, wear your SPF. It's not a joke. Again, I need to take my own advice on that. But yeah, SPF is very important.
It is very important. You're just going to get red, and I don't know, depends how you tan. I don't tan. I'm a binary person. I only get red or then I turn back to white.
But even tanning or sunburn, it's also skin cancer as well. So you don't want that.
Yeah, take care. Like I usually go out with a hat. Absolutely.
And I think as well, the next tip I would say is, because you can almost divide the year into quarters. So you've got quarter one, which is mainly winter, quarter two-ish, which is more spring, summer, quarter three, summer, quarter four, we're sort of like heading into autumn, back into winter. So one of the things I think can be good is to set an intention for what you want your summer to look like. Because as female dating strategy, I think it's important, especially as women, to be strategic in all areas, not just dating, because we have to be. We don't get things, just as much as the incels would cry and say it's not true, but we don't get things handed to us. The world is inherently against us in some way, shape, or form, of purely on the basis of the fact that you are female. So I think it's also important to be intentional about each season that's coming up, or the coming months, and what you would like to achieve, by the end of it, and setting those goals and working towards them. Obviously, it's nice to achieve those goals by the end of the season, by the end of summer, especially as, I don't know if you found it too, Patricia, but as I get older, the years go by a lot faster. And it's very easy for 3-4 months to pass and you still haven't made progress on the one thing that you said you wanted to make progress on.
Especially in the summer when everything is happening all the time.
Yes. And everything also slows down a bit in summer, like same with winter, because again, you have people, if you're working, people are on leave, people don't really want to be working, people just want to just enjoy the weather, which is all well and good. You should also do that, but also, be intentional about your efforts as well. So if you have a goal that you want to achieve by the end of summer or even beyond summer, it's just important to factor that in and to plan that in alongside the rest and relaxation, which is the next point, is that do take time to rest and relax as well. Summer is often a good time to take stock, to enjoy the weather, but also to rest and recharge, because that's really important. And I say that as a workaholic. I'm a self-confessed workaholic. I like working too much. It's a trauma response. But anyway, this is not a therapy session. But it's really, really important to just set aside time, no matter what is going on in the world, if you can, to just rest and to not do anything if possible. That's really important, because burnout is not fun and it's not cute.
Yeah, I really like that you said that. It really ties back to the FOMO aspect of summer, because it's really important to be in tune with yourself. And if, I don't know, Sunday afternoon after you had a full weekend and your friends are going somewhere and everything is exciting, but you're actually just really tired, you just really want to close your eyes and fall asleep, have that nap, have that shower, have that meal prepping time, like really connect to where you're at right now. Because I think there's something about summer, like we're talking about summer out of the perspective of we live in a cold country, but also in some places, some places are hot and then summer is unbearable. And maybe we'll also have listeners on the other side of the world where now it's going to be winter, but specifically for this season that it's like hyper crazy. Everybody is excited, traveling, doing things, and you feel like you're missing out. where you are is where you need to be. Where you are is the party. And it's really important to listen to yourself and not burn out. And I also wanted to say that was really inspiring to me how you were talking about the summer as a quarter and kind of trying to envision where you want to be at the end of it already now before it's like kind of beginning. I think like for me personally, that's very inspiring because I have so much I want to accomplish at work. And I also have a few projects that I'm doing with various groups of friends. And I also have a lot of traveling plans. And I also have my like personal goals with fitness and with nutrition and physiotherapy, of course. And look at that. I said physiotherapy last. It should have been first. So it's exactly like that. Like you really need to have that vision quest with yourself. And this is what we're always like pushing for in female dating strategy. It's about being intentional and like driving order into the world that is chaotic, because otherwise it's just not going to happen. And that is inspiring to me, like to try to sit with myself and think about what would make me happy if I would have accomplished like on August 31st. I really like that. I'm going to do that as an exercise with myself.
Exactly. I think that's such a positive thing, Patricia. And it also ties back into what we said about social media detox. Can you tell we're not big fans of social media? Is that in summer, you'll often see people like living their best life. I don't know if you've noticed it as well, Patricia, but the social media posting ramps up over summer, people taking trips, people just going out all the time.
I'm just not on it. I sometimes go to find recipes and then I spend 2 hours on Instagram, but usually I just try not to go in. It's not even on my home screen, the apps.
Good for you. Good for you. But, you know, just also bear that in mind as well, is that summer, it might seem like everybody's doing the most and all that, but in reality, a lot of people are just trying to make the best of it as they can. And everything you see on social media is literally just, it's just a highlight reel. It's not their whole summer.
Everybody's going through something. The version of the person that you're seeing in front of you, like you don't know what they went through to get there and you don't know what's going to happen to them later. Plus, you can only compare yourself to yourself because everybody has their own fate in life. Plus, on a darker note, you know, the social media apps are free because you are the product. You spending time on the app is what drives their money. Why would you want to contribute to that? Like you're getting nothing from it. Nothing. And this reminds me of a beautiful sentence that my best and oldest friend told me when I was trying to quit weed, because I realized it was really, really bad for me. It was some years ago, best decision of my life. And we were talking about it. She had just quit cigarettes. And I was like, oh, but I don't want to quit because it helps me pass the time. And she said, why does the time need passing? I'm like, mind was blown, you know? That was so profound. And like quitting weed was a super impactful thing for me that helped me so much in life. And I'm not advocating for quitting weed specifically if it's okay and you have a good relationship with the substance. I'm talking about like this thing that we're doing specifically. I'm talking about social media to pass the time. Why does the time need passing? Our time and our focus are the two most significant resources that we have. Like it's gold, you know? It's up to you to use them in the way that suits your goals, that suits where you want to be, that suits what energies, what qualities you want to deepen in your life.
Really, really well said. I completely agree. So yeah, I think we got to 10 tips for Hot Girl Summer. And basically, just to sum up as well, is just enjoy it, relax, recharge, just honor your body, honor your boundaries, and keep the line against the dusties and the scrotes.
Yeah, I really love that reminder. Like it's basically, I think a lot of what we were saying here is like a summer can be like a very shiny thing and you want to catch it, but like what's important is you're going through that time, and that real queen energy is to approach it having in mind what you are, where you want to be, how you want to experience life, and what is important to you. And then you can enjoy it really fully. And I also want to give a shout out to our beautiful co-host on the main episode, because last week I really loved that. It was, first I thought the headline was like, okay, because it was how to be hot and have fun. And I thought that was so superficial. And after listening to it, I don't know if our listeners right now have listened, but please go and do so, because it was just so beautiful. It was like a very philosophical approach to mental health, of like a mindset. So yeah, please see this as an invitation to listen to that main FDS episode. It was really cool.
And with that, Queens, we will see you next week. Do let us know how you'll be spending summer 2025. If you have any plans, we'd love to hear them.
Yeah. What are your intentions? And we're wishing you a very hot girl summer.
See you next week, Queens.
See you next week.